real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Tawana Johnson is a recovering crack addict who's now addicted to pain pills. And after she started dating the defendant, she discovered he was a male chauvinist who demeans women. Tawana is suing because she claims her van was stolen while in the defendant's possession. Defendant Raymond Moore says he and Tawana were nothing more than friends. And despite the fact that Tawana was like a lion while Raymond was her prey, he insists they were never intimate. Raymond does not believe it was his fault that Tawana's van was stolen.
Tell me what happened.
Okay, I'm here today suing Raymond because I feel that he took advantage of me at a vulnerable point in my life. But to give you a little background about myself, I am a recovering crackhead. Put it out there, for over 20 years. And at the time I was—
How long you been in recovery?
2 years. When I met him, it had been 2 years.
All right, good.
However, I was recovered from that, and then I had an incident with my back, a herniated disc, so I'm struggling with pain pill addiction right now. So
What type of pill?
Vicodin.
You haven't considered surgery or any other alternative?
I'm afraid of surgery because, for one, they said it's not going to. If I have surgery, that it wouldn't be it wouldn't last forever. I would maybe have to have it over and over again, and so I'm just kind of waiting and seeing.
I hope it lasts. I had the herniated disc, and I ultimately had what they call a fusion. Did they describe that to you?
They did.
It's supposed to be like 99%.
With laser, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my last doctor's been telling me about that.
I had it like 6 years ago and 100%. I haven't had a problem since.
Well, if you can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, I don't want you to be dependent on Vicodin. That's addictive.
Yes, it is.
And at some point, you move to a higher drug. We know that you have an addictive personality.
Yes, sir.
So we don't want you to go from that to Oxycontin to heroin.
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
Those are the steps, right?
Yes, it is. It is, and that's a fear.
Plaintiff Tawana Johnson says after she started dating the defendant, she discovered he was a male chauvinist who was demeaning to women.
So yeah, get that fixed. I don't want you to become dependent on any other drugs. We're going to get to the van that you're suing him about, but any other background?
Yeah, so the background as far as my drug addiction, and at the time I met Raymond, we met at a job program, the CARA program. You may have heard of it.
What's the name?
The CARA program. And we discovered that we had some certain things in common. I think he was battling alcohol. I think it was. I'm not sure.
Not true.
All right.
After a year and a half of seeing each other, eating and dating, and that's when January of this year I was diagnosed with a herniated disc. And where I live, I have to move my van 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening because of traffic. So he was polite enough to say, well, let me use the van so you won't continue to get these tickets. And I agreed to it because I wasn't able to move the van.
What was it like while you all were together, before we get to the specifics on the van you're suing for? What was it like?
What was it like? Wow. Well, he's a male chauvinist jerk.
Wow.
Well, you know you are.
How so?
How so? He demeans black women. He feels that black women...
That's not true, y'all.
Why just how you know it's just black women?
Because that's what he says. You black women. And he feels that we are... He said this 1,000 times, that you are under the white man's thumb.
That's not true. You're lying. Stop lying.
Because you have a job and you're doing the white man as usual. Oh, Raymond, do not sit there and try to deny it.
You're a liar.
All right. So he's a male chauvinist jerk in your opinion.
Yeah, but
what
he
else?
was attractive and we have good conversation.
Okay, good.
So
that's what's important. Interesting person.
Interesting person.
Good.
Yeah,
all right, until he ran off with your van.
Exactly. So let's get back to that.
Let me allow him to give some background, then we'll get into the specifics.
Okay.
Sir?
Well, first of all, Yanni, let me give you a little background about the story here, or the situation here. As you see, old Cottonhead says she has an addicted personality.
Stop. She called you a jerk, and you call her a name. We're going to stop the name calling.
Okay. All right, Yanni. First of all, we never dated. We were never in a relationship, so let's get that clear. I only wanted to be associates with her, and she knew that from the beginning. She was in pursuit of me like a lion after prey, and I was the prey.
Hot pursuit.
Hot pursuit, like a lion on a prey, and I was the prey. So again, Yana, I told her on several occasions that I didn't want to have nothing to do with her personally, because, most of the people
Not
in the
enough but to
program.
drive my van.
All right, ma'am, let him speak.
Most of the people.
This is a man in big demand. Let him
That's
speak.
right. That's right. We, like she said, we met in this program, and most of the people there, they did have some kind of substance background or whatever the case may be. And I just was never into dating. Not that I have anything against that. People with that type of a background. But I gave her the benefit of the doubt. We could be associates. We could be friends. But I knew, and she knew, that it would never.
Did you end up dating?
No, we never dated. We never
Did you
dated.
have
We
any
were never in a
relations
relationship.
with her?
No relations.
That's
No
what
relations.
mature folks
No mature.
call,
No intimate. No sexual relations.
Sexual,
no.
yeah.
No.
All right.
No.
Go
When
ahead.
I say no, I mean no.
All right.
All right.
We
And
had
so
relations, Your
therefore.
Honor.
Every time somebody got denied that vehemently.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I mean,
No.
Okay.
No.
I say no, I mean no. Absolutely not. I swear. On a stack of Bibles. Oh.
Yes, we had
Bad
relations.
news to me. Yeah, why you gotta do all that? All you gotta do is say, oh no, that didn't happen.
Okay. Oh no, we didn't have. No.
Yeah,
No,
all right. Go ahead.
So again, she was just pursuit of me. She would offer me, friends benefits. Slide me a phone number. Text me all the time.
I don't even text.
And just trying to get involved with me on a personal level. And I told her we're gonna keep it professional.
Plaintiff Tawana Johnson says after she started dating the defendant, she discovered he was a male chauvinist who was demeaning to women.
How did you all's friendship end?
Well, our friendship ended when the van
All
came
right,
up.
let me allow her to get into this.
Okay, so the agreement was that he would use the van to go to work only. And that's what he did for about 2 or 3 weeks. He got comfortable, I guess, with the van, and he started just driving it all willy-nilly. Then he didn't call me the day it got stolen. I had to call him, right? Because usually he was
That's
doing
not
good.
true. I did call you.
He
Let
was
her
doing
finish.
good and calling me every day. I'm home now. He was great.
Checking in.
Checking in, exactly. That's what you're supposed to do when you got somebody else's vehicle.
Or
That's
when
what
you got a commitment that to your lover who would like to see that type of
Yes,
accountability.
I will admit that we was headed down that
Call
direction.
it
and
in,
we were taking
checking
it slow.
in. Hey, baby, I'm home.
Yeah, he was doing that every day.
You called even when you got in?
I called to let her know that I was at home with her, at my house with her van, so she would know that the van was at home, safe and sound, period.
Sound like checking in to me. Go
Call it
ahead.
what you will. Call it what you will.
Go
So
ahead.
this one, I remember it vividly. This one Wednesday, he did not call to check in. So I'm worried. No call. Thursday, and then he go answer his phone. That next day, Thursday morning, I had to call. I'm calling him because I'm worried about the phone. I'm worried about him. I'm worried about the van. I'm worried about him. Thursday morning, he picks up and he says, I got bad news. And he says, your van is gone. I get this emotional when I talk about it.
That's all right. Take your time.
So he says, I said, what do you mean my van? So now I'm angry. I'm all over the place, right? I said, what do you mean my van is gone? He says, well, I went over to my nephew's house and partied for a little while. Came back out, the car was gone.
All right, sir. You tell me what happened to the van and why you shouldn't be responsible.
Well, Judge, again, like she stated before, she allowed me to use the van on several occasions, and it was all in order so she wouldn't get in parking tickets. So I didn't take advantage of her. This
Were
was
there
her
any
idea.
restrictions?
No, there were no restrictions on my usage of the van.
Go ahead.
Only to work and back. That was the restriction.
She didn't tell you that?
She said that
To
I
work
could
and
use
back.
the van. She didn't specify to work and back, but she said
That's why he called
That's
me
not
when
what
he
you
got
write.
home.
I got it.
Thank you.
What happened?
Yeah, I was trained at this. You don't have to help me.
But anyway,
Sir, you just told me a moment ago the reason you were calling every evening was to let her know you were home with the van and to let her know it was safe. That sounds like someone who is responding to an agreement regarding the accountability.
when I came out to go to do laundry one day, the van was gone. So if it was specifications or specifically to go to work and back, then I wouldn't have been able to use the van to go do laundry.
What time was that?
Between the hours of 10 and 11 a.m., the van was gone.
Okay.
And I immediately called her and the police.
So what did you tell her with regard to liability?
Well, I just told her that, the van got stolen and she got all hysterical about it. She started accusing me and saying I had something to do with it because even me using this van, she always wanted to know where I was at, always accusing me of being at some other female's house. And I'm like, we don't have relationships, so it shouldn't matter to you who house I'm at with respect to, me not being at home. So again, she throwing these benefits in of using the van, come over, spend the night, you can eat over here, you can spend some time together in order to use the van.
Did you ever go over to her house?
I visited her house on several occasions. Did you ever eat inside
of her house?
I brought food to her house, yes.
And you ate inside with her?
Yes, I did.
You had dinner in her home with her?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah. And so when the van got stolen, but again, that don't mean that we have no intimate.
Sure don't.
Come on now. Look, like I stated before, with me, it's friends. It's
friends.
friends.
State it again.
Plaintiff Tawana Johnson says after she started dating the defendant, she discovered he was a male chauvinist who was demeaning to women.
Now, what else you want to tell me?
So again,
Now there you go again. Let me get back to her. You're telling me again, like I've told you not to. I believe, ma'am, that he was negligent in the use of your van. I believe there were restrictions, and that's why he was calling to check in the evenings. I believe you all were in a relationship despite his lies. Therefore, I'll grant you $2,000 judgment.
I don't demean black women.
What do you say about black men?
You and your attitude.
Just me?
You and your attitude, your addictive behavior, and the way you conduct yourself, the aggressiveness you use to pursue me.
What?
I wasn't happy.
It wasn't even like
Bottom
that,
line, black women don't have nothing to do with it. Y'all got bad attitude.
Then why we
bottom line.
Why we still talking
We're not talking. We're not talking.
I guess not that you called me lie.
We're not talking. Bottom line.